So I just want to quickly give advice on how we gonna run this session. So, like you're already doing, the best is for you guys to stay muted. It's very difficult for me once I'm doing the yoga to watch you to be able to respond to you. So it means that you're really totally responsible for your practice. So those of you who are on painkillers, for example, please make sure that you're very mindful about listening to your body and making sure that you don't overstretch, or that you can respond and stop. Or if you have other injuries, or you might feel a loss of balance, please watch yourself and be safe. It's your responsibility to do that. It's very difficult for me to kind of hold that for you. Having said that, it's going to be a very gentle, easy practice, and I doubt whether you're going to run into any problems there. So the other thing I'd like to speak into is, why are we doing this internal journey when we've been locked down for months and for the entire year? We're all raring to get out. We all want to sample life. We want to have the sense of the vibrancy of life again. Why are we going inside? Why are we doing this internal journey? And the reason why we're doing that is, when our inner light is not on, we will just be thrown about in the waves of everybody else's energy. And so the only way that we can actually really truly enjoy freedom is when we come to our center and are connected to our inner voice. We cannot connect to that inner voice if we're just looking out and we're affected by the outside. So to create space in a practice that allows us to hear and get in touch with that inner voice really allows us to strengthen that vibration out, and to allow us to be calm and strong in these storms. And ultimately, and this is my personal view, ultimately it allows us to assist in making a new reality happen that may be a bit more conscious, that may be less unsustainable, that may be more authentic and true to our true divine nature. So that's the reason behind and the benefits of doing an internal practice even in these strange times. I'd like to also, seeing that there's lots of talk about appropriation of cultural input in yoga practice, in meditation practice, and I am aware that I draw from quite a few disciplines in my practice and in what I'm sharing here. And this is in no way to disrespect or to change the original philosophies from the East, the yogic practices. So, for example, I have been in conversations with, a Buddhist monk who is Jewish for several years now. I have studied the tantric traditions that speak to me a lot, the non-dual tantric traditions. They have very sophisticated mental constructs around, the nature of reality, our true nature. I come from a Christian background. I absolutely love Christian church music. You might be hearing it in the background here. And then, of course, the yoga practice, which is a practice that uses the body instead of the mental constructs. It's a practice that uses the body to free up our connection to our 3D embodiment here. And both are needed. We need the mental constructs, but we also need the visceral sensation of being alive and of washing all of that knowledge into our body and becoming embodied, for that consciousness to become embodied. So I want to therefore honor all of the input that I've got from all the different cultures. And I recognize that you will all have your own preferences on how you refer to the divine energy, whether you just refer to it as God or as knowledge or however you want to do it. So please don't take offense at my wish to call it divine and my wish to call it godly. So that brings me on to also the issue of our body being our temple. And it truly is. It's truly the space. You know, we can't feel anything unless we feel it through the body. We can't feel it in our intellect. We have to feel the emotion. We have to feel the sensation. We can feel the texture in our minds. So we have a practice which is really based on the understanding that our nature is an arising of the impulse of consciousness into physical embodiment, and it is a spectrum. So if we only have intellectual understanding, it doesn't feel real. If we only have a physical sensation, we cannot really live it because we can't give a word to it, we can't radiate it out. So we need both of them. And the practice that we're going to be doing here, I call it embodied meditation, but you know, it is a mixture of the westernized yoga, mindfulness, coming back to the original yoga really, which is a spiritual practice, to use the body to investigate our mind, because we are very mental in the West and we've lost perhaps a little bit the ability to truly feel the words that we're saying and to therefore be able to radiate them out. So it's a practice of using the sensations in the body to also explore, to learn to always become aware. It's easy to become aware of a physical sensation. You know, I pinch myself, I'm now aware of the pain. But when I have thoughts that are maybe circling around, or that are stressed, or that are negative, I often don't necessarily recognize it when they arise. I don't recognize when they begin. So by practicing awareness of all the tiny sensations in the body, we will be able to practice becoming aware of the texture of our mind as well. And so that's really what we're going to do throughout this course. The last thing I'd like to say before we kind of go into it is when they build a church, they consecrate the church. They do that by speaking a dedication into the stone, into the church. And they do that, they then repeat this intention throughout the life of that church. So it builds up a certain energy. And if we think about all of the negative things that we say to our body, this is what we inhabit. We constantly say it. We constantly imbue our body with that negativity. We really must become aware of that chatter. We must become aware of these unnecessary negative vibrations that we put into our body, into our being. So our body is our temple. Let's take these next 2 weeks to really change the language that we have, how we speak to ourselves, how we speak to our body. And so the last thing at the beginning here is the importance of having the right view for this practice. We're not doing it to become enlightened. We're not doing it to become better than anybody else. We're not doing it to become flexible or beautiful. We are truly doing it to investigate our true nature. And that is the importance. It allows us to do that for our own benefit and therefore for the benefit of all others. When we are truly radiating from our true center, from our true nature, which actually is love, it is kindness, we can change the world. So with that, I'm dedicating this morning's practice to really, we can change the world. May we do so with grace and kindness. So I am gonna, maybe you can all switch off your thing. I'm gonna anchor my, how do I know how to do this? I'm gonna spotlight me for everyone. So that you can see me. And the important part of this practice is the breath. So those of you who've been here before, you know I go on and on about it. And I would like to start this morning's practice with reminding ourselves what it is like to breathe correctly and how to do it. So if you can make yourself comfortable, sit either in a meditation posture or legs straight out in front. Even if you need to sit on a chair, that's fine. And close your eyes. And begin to take notice of how your breath is moving through your body. So you might feel that at this stage you're breathing in a very shallow way. And maybe make sure your back is straight, your spine is tall and your head is loose on your shoulders. And now bring your awareness to your belly, to the weight of your being on the place where you're sitting. Relax your perineum, allow your temple gate to be in touch with the earth. And with each out breath, really allow your breath to drop down and really put a weight, a gentle weight on your base until you can feel the breath. Until you can feel your focus dropping deeper into the earth. Breath comes in, and on the out breath, allow your breath to drop down. Notice if you're engaging your thighs or where you're engaging as you're breathing in, you want to be relaxed and simply just allow your breath to move up and down. At the moment we're focusing on the earth, touching deep into the earth. This is now way below us. Visualize that center of the earth where your breath is touching into now. Give it a color. It's an energy center. It is a chakra. And with each out breath, the breath drops without effort way down and touches into that energy. And then take note that as you're breathing out, the breath drops down deep into that color, into that texture. When you change breath, there is a moment of stillness. There is this radiant stillness. Hold it for half a second. Feel that still point. And then as you breathe in, you're bringing that earth energy, that energy of the profoundness, that depth of being into your body. And on the out breath again, relax and drop the breath down. Allow it to really soak in that energy and then bring it into the body. As we drop down, we soak. It's like a sponge. It's soaking it up. It's bringing it into the body. And now on the next in-breath, we bring that energy up. It rises in the body. It's touching the heart. Perhaps you want to touch your heart. You can feel your heart. And allow the breath now to rise up beyond your crown. Breath changes direction. Hold it for a second. And then on the out breath, allow the breath to drop all the way down into the earth again. Hold the breath. And the in-breath rises, bringing that earthy heat up into our body. All the way up, it's now reaching for the heavens, into that heavenly energy chakra point. Hold a moment. Hold that stillness. It's a different color, different energy. And then let it melt into your body. So that energy, that clear, cool light of awareness drops down into our body, mingling with the heat from below. So we have the yin and yang joining into a life force, into that elixir of life in our body. So let's breathe. Almost in a figure of 8. From the earth into the heavens, crossing over in our heart space. And so continue to breathe as I'm talking to you. So this practice of joining with the breath, these two polar opposites, these dual poles, joining into one, becoming one thing, becoming that life force, is a key part of the practice that holds the movements together, that allows us to really feel into the sensations. In particular today, I'd like you to focus, as we're continuing to breathe, from heaven to earth. Hold that energy point in when your breath breathes out, when you touch into the earth. Hold it, feel it. And then as you move again, it's almost like you're letting go that connection to the earth, and you're allowing it to rise with you. So it's like rising up, but there is a moment of letting go. The same thing at the top. We're holding it, we're feeling into that stillness, that purity of that energy above, and then we let go, and the energy melts into our body. So I want you to really, for the next 5 or 6 breaths, as you're breathing up and down, to really focus on this change of direction at the top, touching into that stillness. It has a texture, it has a color. Give it your texture. And then notice the moment of letting go and coming into movement again. So let's do it together. Breathing in and out. And if you like, it really helps. Use your arms. And allow them to drop as your breath is moving. So your arms follow your breath. And if you're feeling a bit cold, make your breath stronger. Use Ujjayi breath. Each time the breath changes direction, stop moving wherever you are, and then let go, move the breath, and then move the body. So we're letting the breath move and lead the movement. Very important part. So we are now moving through the entire spectrum, from the deep earth energies to the clear heavenly energies. From yin to yang, combining the two in our inner space, in our body, as that elixir of life. That energy, give it a color, give it a texture. Is it like honey? Is it for you like a clear running mountain stream? What texture does that elixir of life have for you? And now come to rest, and I'd like for you to share, if you can, I can't find my glasses now, here they are, how you're feeling the breath, where you're feeling it. If anyone would like to share, you don't have to, but simply just speak up if you want to share how far you can feel the breath going up, where you feel it cross over, and if you have a sense of the texture of the spectrum of that energy as it changes from earth into heaven and as it joins into this life elixir. Do we have anyone who wishes to share? I don't actually know if I need to do something here. Remove
yes,
spotlight.
I will. It's Christine.
Thank you.
Do you know, I find it gets stuck sort of here, and it's not like a feeling of going all the way up, and then I get stuck just below the stomach. So to me it's I don't know, anxiousness that's holding on. But yeah, I'm working to get it higher and lower.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. It is interesting that when you think about the energy just moving in a certain space, you can really imagine that like a river, or when it goes around the corner, soot collects. So if you visualize that if we're just moving, say, in part of our body, we're really building up a blockage above and below. And so it sometimes helps if you just touch your hair, pull your hair a little bit, just bring sensation to the top of your head and maybe wriggle on the floor to put sensation into your temple gate or into your buttocks. It may help to clear away some of that congestion, and eventually you can break through. This is also why it's so important to aim for the energy point in the heaven and in the earth. Because if we only work from base to crown, we're really building up congestion above and congestion just below us. We're not really properly clearing the channel to allow us to connect to these two polar opposites. And as we have that channel clear, the energy that moves is really powerful. It really automatically clears even without us having to do terribly much. So, would anyone else like to share? Okay, so we'll carry on. I realize I've kind of assumed that you all know about Ujjayi breathing. Just a quick recap. Ujjayi breath is a way of breathing where we restrict the glottis so that we can put a lot of force in the breath, in and out. And the reason we do that is because we want to breathe very deeply. But if we do breathe very deeply without that restriction, we hyperventilate. So we're not really able to continue breathing deeply for an hour and a half without hyperventilating. It also means when we use this Ujjayi breath, if we restrict it, we can direct it like a laser beam into parts of our body where we can do all kinds of things with it. We'll explore that throughout these next 2 weeks. So just a recap, Ujjayi breath, it sounds like that. I don't know if you can actually hear me, so... Sounds like Darth Vader, and it's breathing through the glottis. So it's when you make the sound ha, you restrict the glottis. I encourage you. I can't really support you more with that, except keep encouraging, keep practicing it, keep restricting the glottis. If you feel at any point a little bit lightheaded, it means you're not restricting the glottis enough, and with the deep breathing, just either slow down the breathing or really make sure you restrict the glottis so that you can feel the breath. You have enough breath to push it up and down and start clearing and sweeping that inner space. So let's get back to the breathing and into a more active practice. We're not going to do very much more today than simply practicing the sensations of this breath and how we're going to use the breath to lead the practice further down the road. So again, sit comfortably, back straight. Start your Ujjayi breath. With each out breath, allow your breath to drop through your belly, down into the earth, touch into that glowing energy point, hold it, feel it, that divine stillness, and then let go and bring the breath up. Siphon that energy in. Use your hands, it really helps. And this time around, as we're reaching up, really stretch high. It's a nice, delicious feeling. And we're touching into that still point above. And then on the out breath, rotate the arms backwards and breathe along the arms into your shoulder joint. And just feel the sensations of any tightness, any spasms, any pains you might have in parts of your muscles. And just notice the different textures of the sensations, different textures of pain, of congestion. In-breath comes again, arms come up in front. And as we're reaching high, really see your breath pull you up. We're touching into that heavenly divine energy. Out breath comes. Rotating the shoulders, we're opening the heart. We can feel the back touching. Hands touch deep into the earth as the breath drops down. We stop when the breath changes direction. We notice the still point. We let go, feel the breath moving, and then let the breath pull the arms up in front. And in your own time now, And on the next out breath, change direction. In breath comes, arms come up behind you, really feel the stretch across the chest. Your neck is squashing the muscles at the back as the arms rise, the breath is pushing them up. We touch into that cool, light, clear energy in the heavens. Hold it, let it seep into our fingers. Out breath, coming down in front, touching into the earth. Feeling that heat, touching and bringing up that energy. And again, we're soaking it up. It's like a sponge. We're not only bringing it in through the breath, but every cell in our being, as we're touching into these energy centers, changes color. It absorbs that energy. And with moving like that, we're not only moving the energy with the breath, we're also using the movement of the body to squeeze that energy deep into the muscle tissue, into every cell of our being. Next out breath, allow your hands to rest either side of your hips. And then on the next in-breath, as you're bringing that heat up, your belly fills with it, your heart is now alight with that elixir. It's radiating out, touching your throat. Really touch your throat if you can't get your breath beyond it. And then rotate your head on your shoulders. Slowly, slowly. When the breath changes direction, stop moving. Feel that energy point, and then let go and move the breath, and then continue rotating your head. And I want you to pay attention now to every little sensation you have in every tendon that's connecting to the base of your skull, in the muscles, in your neck as you're putting your head back. It's squeezing the muscles, it's squashing them like a sponge. The muscle fibers are being squeezed, and we're squeezing out the dirt. And now change direction. And with the next out breath, come back to center, allow your breath to drop down, feel that relaxation when you let the breath go. It drops down, it has a weight. And then on the in-breath, it rises. The earth's pulse pushes it up through us, reaching into the heavens. Out breath again, that light melts into our body. It's following the breath. Everything is now being mingled and joined up. And perhaps you can even sense outside of our body this joining of these energies, the sparks, the light. We're igniting our inner space. We're switching on the lights in our temple. On the next in-breath, bring the left arm in a big, big circle, straighten the arm, reaching up, touching into the heavens, and on the out-breath, bending over to the right, feeling into the sensations of opening your left side up towards the heavens, the ribs opening, and let's stay here. And notice as you're staying in that position, as the breath leaves your body, you have sensations in your hips, in your ribs. And then as you breathe in, you can feel the expansion from within. You can feel a stretch between the ribs, the intercostal muscles. And out again. 3 more times. On the next in-breath, we come back up slowly, slowly. On the way up, we touch into the heavens and we bring the right arm up. Left arm into the earth, right arm in the heavens. Creating that connection, out breath comes and we bend over to the left. Nice, yummy stretch across the side of our body. Again, with each in-breath, really notice the expansion from within, the sensation that you have. Your belly fills, it's stretching those muscles across the waistline. As you're breathing out, you're letting go. Perhaps you can feel your spine relaxing a little bit. You're kind of melting down. Next in-breath, we're coming back up. And on the out breath, both hands come to rest on the mat. And again, make sure you are in connection with those two poles, the upper and lower parts of our being, the divine heavens, the divine earth, that must come together to create life, to become embodied. This is what we are. We are actually a channel for embodiment. Consciousness requires this, requires the physical body as a channel through which to come and become embodied, through which to manifest, to bring substance to thoughts, emotions, to create. Next in-breath, reach for the heavens, and on the out-breath, come on all fours. We're going to do cat-cow just to loosen our spine after sitting for so long. Let me talk you through it. Keep breathing as I talk. So we want to start with the breath, and we will use the breath to move our spine, beginning from the base. So the in-breath comes, tail goes up, buttocks relax. Belly drops down, heart opens forward, head goes back, back muscles are squeezed. Out breath comes, tuck the tail in, keep your neck muscles squeezed, tuck the tail in, engage your buttocks, bend your back upwards, and then release the neck and bring the chin to the chest. Next in breath comes, keep the chin to the chest, relax the buttocks, tail goes up, belly drops towards the mat, heart opens forward, head goes back, squeezing the neck muscles. And the out breath comes. Tuck the tail in, engage the buttocks, bend your back upwards, chin to chest. In your own time now. We're really slowing down so that we can reconstruct this movement, that we can feel every step of this movement, this nice wave action. We want to feel the different sensations. And the reason we do this is because it serves us well when we come to have to deconstruct our reactions, our emotions, our responses. We'll be able to slow down and investigate step by step how we end up in a rage or in a frustration. And now in your own time, you can speed it up or slow it down, moving left and right, all the while making sure that you focus on slowing down and feeling each step of the movement. If you can, also focus on making sure the breath moves through your entire body, and each time it stops, touches into that divine energy, feel it, bring that clarity in. Bring that heat in. It's a lot to concentrate on, so you could spend just half an hour doing this as a valid meditation and as a valid practice. And so this is the last posture that we're doing before a guided meditation. So really allow yourself to move so that you can feel loose. Feel into your shoulders. Enjoy that sensation. Enjoy opening up the space. Blowing out the cobwebs. We're really sweeping our temple, we're opening the doors, we're breathing out toxins. We're bringing in all oxygen. We are enlivening our inner space. We're connecting to the channel. This is our purpose. We're channeling the two opposite energies to become one. This is what we are, immensely powerful channels. For our true nature to manifest and radiate out, to contribute to the energy that's in the world, that's in the process of manifesting with us, contribute positive energy, creative energy. And then on the next out breath, come into child. Keep breathing deeply. With the out breath, allow yourself to feel again you're letting go in your body so that you melt onto the mat. You might feel a little bit of achiness around your ribs, around your spine when you let go like that, because we're habitually holding on in our ribs quite a lot. We have often quite a rigid rib cage, so the breath kind of, let the breath, when you then breathe in again, just break open some of this congealed energy so that your body can totally respond to the breath, moving in and out, expanding it and allowing it to collapse, to let go, to relax and melt. And then when you're ready, breathe yourself from child into lying down in a comfortable spot. Make sure you're warm. And then you can let go of the breath control. And as we are all beginning to lie down, covering ourselves up, making sure we're warm. I'd like to bring your focus again to this sensation, if you could feel it, of letting go when we have the breath, when we hold the breath in the lower area or in the higher area. We were holding the breath and then we let go. So just bring your focus back to this letting go, the sensation that gives you. Perhaps you can practice it a couple of times now as you're lying down. You're holding the energy, you're holding the breath, and then you let go as it poof. And so we are now lying on the mat, nice and comfortable. Make sure you have arranged yourself so that you don't have to move for the next 10 minutes or so. Your breath is gently moving through your body like a pendulum. And without us having to do anything, it constantly touches into these two energies. The heaven, the earth, the mother, the father, bringing together those two energies, becoming a child, a thought, a body, a being, an action. And so really focus on this breath moving as you're relaxing more and more. Noticing whether your shoulders are tight. Let them go. And again, focus on the sensation that you get the moment you choose to let go, how that feels. It's a physical feeling. And you might be able to get to a place where you are so relaxed, you have let go so much that the breath can move your body without effort. So there's a gentle response as the breath is rising and falling. You can feel the ribs moving, you can feel your hips expanding and relaxing, expanding, being stretched, and then letting go again. And so I'm going to allow you to meditate now for the next few minutes. And I'm going to highlight for you that when you let go of focusing on the body, and just let it be, and watch your mind. And I'm not asking you to suppress any thoughts. They arise. We have no control over that. They arise a bit like the breath arises. But what we have control over is we can let go of a thought. So this letting go of the thought is almost a similar sensation to when we let go of holding the breath. And see if when any thought arises, just let go. And notice how you create space between the next thought and this previous thought. And as you let go, it opens up your inner space, it opens up the space for your inner voice to arise. So we're going to practice this letting go of thoughts throughout these 2 weeks. And as we are practicing that sensation, we can also begin to feel the different textures of the thoughts. Is it a loving thought? Does it make me feel nice? Is it an anxious thought? Is it a stressful thought? Is it just a repetitive, automatic thought? What are these thoughts and emotions that arise in us? And so we want to remain very gentle. We are not judging any of these thoughts, emotions, or things that arise. We are grateful for them because it allows us to practice this letting go, this opening and creating space. As we create space, we create space for our true nature to permeate. It's like removing all of that debris, creating space for the light to shine through. So I'm going to play you now a beautiful oming by Peruqua and allow you to practice this feeling, the sensation of letting go in your body, but also in your mind. Really practice it on your thought processes now. Gently come back into the room where you are. Become aware of any outside noises, any smells, any temperature changes. And take a couple of deep, big breaths. Focus on your hands, on any sensations you have in them, any tingling. And start to move them and notice the sensation, the texture around your fingers. You can feel them moving through the aura. It's a bit like gently moving through a warm body of water. And then do the same with your feet. Become aware of the space around them as you move. And the vibrations that you cause as you're moving. And then gently move into a nice full body stretch. Oh, yummy. And then turn onto your right hand side, allowing your heart to move across the top. And then come into sitting posture. Bring your hands together in the heart space. Rub them together. Use your hands to touch your heart. And then on the next in-breath, allow your hands to rise up, opening like a lotus flower towards the heavens, stretching high. And then on the out-breath, the leaves and petals fall down to the earth, touching deep down into the roots. And then bringing that energy back up into the heart space. Thank you for joining my practice. So I suggest that you stay internal with yourself for the next 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to bow out, and if you can join this afternoon's call at 2 o'clock, it's our first group call, and I will see you then. Thank you very much.